Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 3rd of June going through until Sunday the 9th of June 2024. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today as always. I'm going to go through each day of the week to see how the planets will influence us, and then I'll go through each zodiac sign from Aries through to Pisces to give you a specific message for your zodiac sign, and it's for your sun sign that horoscope is for. So I looked at this week, and what I noticed is that it's very balanced and you'll do well in a lot of different areas. So we have a lot of Gemini in the chart this week, which allows you to multitask and to operate on lots of different levels, but to do a really great job in each area. So you'll notice that there's a wonderful sense of I'm able to rest and I'm able to enjoy the finer things in life here. I can also socialize with friends and family. There'll also be flashes of brilliance and you'll reach certain points of understanding. So if anything has been vague in the past, do I want to keep this around or not? Do I like this? Is it working for me or not? You'll really, in your bones, will kind of feel, okay, this has reached a natural conclusion. I know what this does for me, so I can make a decision around whether I want to experience more of this or less of this. So the power is kind of returned to you, and there's this youthful optimism that says anything is possible. And also, I've got control of everything. So there's nothing here that says you kind of have to react to your circumstances or that you're powerless. So the more hands-on you can be this week, the better. Starting with Monday the 3rd of June, we've got the moon going into Taurus at 6:55 in the morning. The moon is what you feel you kind of have natural access to this energy. So Taurus is an earth sign that's very able to take charge of the situation and to make changes. Mercury, the communication planet, then goes into Gemini at 8:37 in the morning. And that's really good news because Mercury rules two signs, Gemini and Virgo. When it's in Gemini, it's about I communicate, I problem solve, and I find a way forward. I find a way by using my intellect to get some sort of door to open in my life. So more freedom, more options. When Mercury is in Virgo, it's about what don't I know already and how can I sit back and research and gain greater understanding. So with Mercury going into Gemini, there's no sense of doubt around the way you make sense of things. And then what follows naturally is, well, if it's right and true and accurate for me, then let's get on with it. There's this, again, sense of movement and the pace is really quick and you want to get things done. The Taurus moon also squares Pluto and Aquarius, so that's wonderful because Pluto and Aquarius is the rebirth of ideas or the willingness to do things differently. And with the moon in Taurus, you immediately understand what kind of legwork is required for you to make these things real in your life. And finally, Mercury then also trines Pluto and Aquarius, so the two form their own relationship and they blend their energies together in a harmonious way. So it's really about insight and understanding and having a sense of certainty when it comes to your own ideas and the conclusions that you reach for yourself. So with the moon going into Taurus in the morning, it's a really good solid start to the week. You'll find it easy to implement the things that you want to get done. And if certain areas of your life, whether it's work or relationship, if the outcome isn't guaranteed, it's 50-50, then those things particularly are likely to go in your favor. And just as a side note as well, all the personal planets at the moment are direct. Mercury, Venus, Mars. So as far as the planets are concerned, this is your time to act and to engage with the world and to make things happen. This isn't a time to say kind of, let's leave it till next week. Maybe things will look better or more positive or easier for me. This is really the time to act on what you find important and to express what you think has value and makes sense and is right and true. A good way to balance Mondays to get organized in the morning, so to get things off your plate there, and then to work on the personal changes that you want to make on top of completing all the things that need to be done. So use the perspective of Monday to kind of problem solve and to make inroads into your personal plans. On Tuesday, the 4th of June, we still have Mercury in Gemini. And now it conjunct, so it sits right on top of Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter being the planet of good fortune and abundance and growth. So there'll be an overwhelming desire to express things or to action your way of seeing things. The good thing about this is that you're likely to be right. And it's also likely that other people are willing to listen to your point of view. And it's good for teamwork and for kind of brainstorming and to come to a kind of agreement, especially if there are many parties involved, so very little room for conflict. And Mercury in Gemini then also trines Pluto in Aquarius. So we've got three of these planets connecting in a very harmonious way, connecting with new ideas and looking at what don't we have already and how can we bring it in. The Taurus moon then conjunct Uranus in Taurus, and that's the sense of anything is possible, and my life doesn't determine my experience, I determine my experience. So you see, it's this sense of natural confidence in yourself, and this reading between the lines, there's this feeling that, of course, I can affect change, and the question of confidence or ability isn't even there. So it's really all systems go as far as you're concerned here. It also then, the moon in Taurus, that is, sextiles Saturn in Pisces. So there's a sense of calm and there's a sense of being guided and supported through all this change. So there isn't a lot of anxiety that comes up with this. If you've contemplated a really big change in future, something you've wanted to do for a long time, but it would be life-changing, right? This is really the week to commit to that kind of decision. And finally, on Tuesday here, we've got the Sun in Gemini forming a conjunction with Venus in Gemini. And Venus is love, and it's giving something a fresh start, and it's creativity, and it's connection. So with the Sun, your identity, what you're striving towards, right? And it's sitting right on top of Venus. There's a really wonderful opportunity to fall in love with yourself, to fall in love with another person, a place, or a thing. But the energy is very romantic, and again, it's very optimistic, as in, this time I found the right thing and this is going to work. So trust that. You're not likely to be misled here. So even if there's been a long search around a particular area in your life, you know, finding the life purpose or the ideal partner or the perfect living spot, and even if it's taken years, this is the kind of week where you can have a real breakthrough with that and find the thing that you've been after for so long. So again, with Tuesday, it's still a wonderful time to get your ideas across in exactly the way you want. So if you're interviewing or if you're writing anything or meeting new people, it's unlikely that you'll misspeak or that, you know, you say things that you hadn't intended to say. So if you're someone who doesn't or finds it difficult to kind of assess what you're about to say before you actually say it, even with that, you're not likely to put your foot in it this week. You're really supported. Also, what starts to happen on Tuesday is this theme of flashes of insight and brilliance, right? So if you have a wonderful idea pop into your head on Tuesday, then pay attention to that, action it, and that will open doors again in your life. And underneath all that, there's a sense of the world is my oyster, and if I understand things, and if I act on my understanding, then things are going to turn out really well and nicely. So again, if you haven't found anything of interest lately or things have slowed down, you'll find that just by the way the planets move, things kind of warm up for you and you'll find an area of interest, and you'll also find a way to overcome obstacles in a really easy, healthful kind of way. So it's the potential to bring something new in, which is wonderful, but at the same time, you'll also be able to recognize something that isn't particularly helpful in your life, and you'll find a way to give that a kind of subtle exit, the opportunity to go away. If anyone is kind of ghosting you or they're telling you they're too busy to connect, there may be more to it than just being busy on Tuesday. Look at who kind of shows up for you on Tuesday and who doesn't, because it's likely to be a more meaningful message about that relationship. And the actions of others are going to be very telling. And again, they can help you to reach an accurate conclusion. So what I'm saying with that is if you've had a friend and you really care about this friend, you know, but it takes them 2 weeks to ring you back, when you want to speak to them, or when they want to speak to you, they expect an instant response, or if you've given the kind of benefit of the doubt, you'll really see the relationship for what it is on Tuesday. So also, if you're being manipulated by someone or you haven't been quite sure, is this person gaslighting me or not, it'll become very clear on Tuesday. And if you have to make a big decision around a relationship, Tuesday is a good day for it. And with that, you can make space to let that exit in an undramatic way, and you then create an opening for something better to come in. So really, that's the big theme that I noticed of the week, that there are all of these kind of youthful opportunities here, And at the same time, something needs to give, and there's the opportunity to let go of something which you may have hung on to for a long time. On Wednesday, the 5th of June, we've got the Taurus moon forming a sextile with Neptune and Pisces. That's always very imaginative and creative and romantic. The moon goes into Gemini at 9:36 in the morning, so an even greater desire to move forward and to do things differently. And the moon then conjuncts Jupiter, plenty, and Mercury in Gemini, and it also trines Pluto in Aquarius. So by the time we come to Wednesday, you're both creative and you're very academic and intellectual, and you can combine those things to get it creative around your own ideas. And again, it's a wonderful opportunity to produce something of your own as a writer or as a designer or something, or to have great conversations or to present yourself in a good way, but also to find options that haven't presented themselves to you as yet. So Wednesday is great for a lot of things. Again, all the Gemini, remember that you can multitask the whole time here. But Wednesday is great for creativity, relaxation, spending time with other people. You'll feel chatty. You want to share your experiences with another person. And that in itself can be very enjoyable and can bring you closer. Continue to watch out for wonderful new ideas that promise or that have this sense that, hey, this may be the solution to the problem. They're very likely to work. And you know, the reason I'm saying that as well is with all this Gemini coming in, it kind of, the way I'm sensing this is that you have a natural opening within your own consciousness to some wiser consciousness or presence that exists in the higher realms. And there's this undercurrent of, I'm being guided here, something is giving me the answers. It's like allowing me to perceive what's going to happen in a situation. So it's not just that on an intellectual level you're able to make sense of things so well, but there's something positive that's kind of providing you with the answers, which is very telling in the sense that if you take a risk this week, or if you pursue something that isn't guaranteed to work out, it's likely to happen and it's likely to feel a lot less stressful than it usually would. On Thursday, the 6th of June, we have a new moon in Gemini. So I'll make a separate video on that. A new moon is when the moon is pitch black, it pulls lots of energy in, and it's a good time to kind of get organized and to plant seeds for the future and to get clear on what it is you want to pursue in the next 28 days. So I'll go into a lot more detail in the separate video, watch out for that. But the Gemini moon then conjuncts the sun in Gemini because it is a new moon, right? They blend the energies together, but also Venus in Gemini. So if you're thinking around, how can I bring more love into my life, either through a job that I do or a creative outlet or a person or a place, it really allows you to get very clear on what you want. Do I want to be in a relationship or not? You know, do I want to start my own family or don't I? Do I want to move to the sea and live by a lighthouse? Whatever it is, you'll get very clear on what the real truth is. And then it squares Saturn in Pisces, again, that positive, benign influence via the higher realms. And it sextiles Chiron in Aries. So any good idea that suddenly makes total sense isn't just likely to work out, it's also likely to heal you or to give you a greater sense of confidence. I did this for myself and look, it's all turning up roses. So yay me. Thursday, the 6th of June, you have this mindset that encourages you to resolve certain things, to let go of difficult emotional connections in order to replace them with positive relationships, and particularly new relationships, things that you haven't experienced just yet. So it's kind of the image of, you know, a caterpillar coming out of its cocoon and becoming a butterfly, or like a snake shedding its skin. It's about renewal and it's about lightening the load. So it's a wonderful day to begin a new relationship. And if you do make a new connection on this day, it's very likely that this connection is going to bring a lot of positive influences into your life. So really pay attention to that. Good things coming in free of charge. Friday, the 7th of June, we have the moon in Gemini still, squaring Neptune in Pisces. It also sextiles Mars in Aries. So to me, this is the composer, it's the artist. You know, the muses are whispering in your ear via Neptune and Pisces. And then the Gemini moon is the person sitting at their desk with the pen on paper and saying, yes, I'm taking notes. What amazing nuggets are you giving me here, and how can I copy them down? So it's very inspired. And then with Mars in Aries, there's this discipline and this ability to focus on one thing and to get it done. So you're not likely to get overwhelmed or to be distracted, and you're also not likely to run out of energy, particularly if there's something that you really find fascinating. Later in the day, the moon moves into Cancer at 1:41 in the afternoon. So now the moon goes into a water sign, which is even more creative and nurturing and intuitive. And it then quincunxes Pluto and Aquarius. And this is kind of an interesting thing because it kind of sheds a light on the previous days, because with the moon in Cancer and Pluto, it's these wonderful ideas which are designed to help yourself and other people. It's very gentle and considerate, right? And I've said that the first few days of the week are really good, and they are. But the only thing that's occurring to me now is there may be a tendency to take it too far because you feel so light and confident that you may be a little flippant, that you may be dismissive of other people's feelings. And it's important to remember that if you're in a good spot, it may not be that everyone else is experiencing that same sense of uplift, and to still consider the feelings of other people. So on Friday the 7th then, you have, via all this intuition, the ability to create, but you also have the ability to flip that around and to read other people very well, and to look at kind of the feelings behind what's being said, or what the hidden kind of motives are. So really trust your gut on Friday. It allows you to see the truth in a lot of your relationships, whether that's a working relationship or a personal relationship with a family member. If you've been undecided around any of those things, like what I mentioned with that friendship earlier, if there's something like, is this really something I should continue with? You'll get to a moment of total clarity on Friday that allows you to decide and to simplify. And there are a few moments like this week, as in, okay, this has been going on for a while, and we've reached the finished goal, and I now understand what that was all about, and because of that, I can make a decision around it. So you have the opportunity to live a lighter life, and it's not even about putting in boundaries in place. It's this innate sense of freedom from problematic influences, as in, I don't need to engage with this anymore if it doesn't work for me. I'm not a hostage. So that then creates the space again to meet someone new. And if you do here on Friday, also you can trust that connection, and it's very likely to be an important part of your future. On Saturday, the 8th of June, we have Venus in Gemini forming a square with Saturn in Pisces, and I feel that's the safety to be loved. And what I mean by that is the willingness and the strength to say, I am going to put myself out there, or I'm going to take the risk to express myself authentically, or I am ready for a new relationship. I'm ready for love, basically. The Cancer moon then also bringing even more intuition in, and the desire to connect in a really intimate and meaningful way, trine Saturn in Pisces. So the thing that's going to be super easy on Saturday is connecting with your spiritual family and hearing their rounds of applause and encouragement, saying, you've got this, you can do it. And it squares Chiron in Aries. So all that positive motivation, whether it is via another person or your connection to the higher realms, it's really going to prompt you to say, what can I do in my life to make things better in order to heal my experience? So you can get things done very easily as far as your emotions are concerned. And because things are so straightforward and seem to make sense so much, you have the opportunity here on Saturday to really relax and to enjoy your relationships, and to just be very aware of, this is really positive and I get to spend time doing this. So a sense of gratitude as well appears on Saturday. So if you have the opportunity to not work as much on Saturday, it's a good time to take a little bit of a time off if you can, and to enjoy the experiences in your life. If you do have to work, then focus on the creative side of things, particularly. You'll be able to do fabulous work there because there is such a strong sense of connection. A final check-in with yourself around anything that's vague or unclear. Do that because, again, you'll be able to come to a final decision. And you're in the present moment, you're able to evaluate the past, adapt it, or let go of some certain things that have followed you into the present, so that you can make space for good things in the future. So it's about significant shifts, it's about life-changing events based on decisions that you make. And they can be made without the usual sense of fear, or what if I do let go of this? What am I going to do then? Am I going to, if I let go of this friend who treats me horribly, is that better than having no friend? That kind of thing. I have the confidence to get rid of any negative influence, right? Sunday the 9th of June, we've got Mars going into Taurus at 5:35 in the morning. Mars is your ambition, right? What you won't compromise on. And in Taurus, it's very stubborn. It's like, I get what I want, and that's the end of the story. So it's a little strict. There's a kind of no tolerance policy involved with that. At the same time, we have the Cancer moon, which still kind of softens things a little bit, but it squares Chiron and Aries, and that also says, listen, your healing is first and foremost. That's the most important thing, not everyone else. So a major shift on Sunday, because I think you kind of really withdraw a little bit. It then trines Neptune in Pisces and sextiles Uranus in Taurus. And the reason you're withdrawing is because by listening to your own imagination and your own way of seeing things, you again can come to this moment of a really big life-changing decision that usually would terrify you. And the Gemini sun then squares Saturn in Pisces. That's where the kind of ease comes from, the thing that melts the anxiety away. And then also to complicate things even further, we have the moon entering Leo at 7:29 in the evening. So that is a fire that burns very brightly, and it's my passions, my desires, my confidence. And it fires you up even more to kind of take a risk and to pursue your own interests. The Leo moon then opposes Pluto in Aquarius, the bonfire of ideas, and it squares Mars in Taurus and sextiles Jupiter in Gemini. So Sunday is actually a good day to be a little bit of a hermit crab, because the ideas that occur to you and the things that you can do with those ideas are brilliant. And it may make sense to listen to the inner dialogue, because it's going to really help you out. So you have a greater connection to yourself and your own body on Sunday. So even things like self-care, just finding a spot where you can think clearly and you have some peace and quiet. You may have a stronger connection to Sunday, on Sunday, but also to nature on Sunday. So if you want to go on a day trip, visit the forest or the seaside or something, it'll be a nice day for it. But then the slower pace of all of that is going to give you an even greater opportunity to relax, and at the same time, these wonderful ideas come in. So the only thing on Sunday is you may take things too far and assign meaning to things that don't actually have any meaning. And watch out for that, because all week you've really been certain about your ideas and you've been able to evaluate things well and properly, right? On Sunday, you may take that too far and assign some sort of hidden motive to something that doesn't even have a hidden motive. And that could lead you to the wrong conclusion. So Sunday is a little confusing because you've had such certainty for the whole week, and now it brings the potential for error here. And I would say on Sunday, pursue enjoyable activities that are fun in the moment and that do kind of promise to heal you, but do leave big decisions till tomorrow, till Monday, the 10th of June, when things clear up again and there's less room for error. Okay, so that's what I get for you each day of the week. Let's have a look at each sign of the zodiac. So first for Aries. Aries, you may find that this is really your week and you come into your own. Anything that you've actioned or anything that you want to move forward with, it's going to appear so easy that you're kind of have a sense that I'm surfing through the week and everything's going my way. So Aries, if you get the sense that you're perfectly in the flow and you're manifesting things along the way and everything is going smoothly and amazingly, then really don't question that. You can trust it. You're going to have an amazing week here. Also, pay attention to anyone who you meet on your travels. They may be a new BFF coming into your life or the ideal partner, but it's really a positive, significant, long-term relationship that you access, as well as making a lot of inroads to what you want to do. So Aries, really be encouraged by this. This is an amazing week for you. Taurus, you're going to be super productive, especially on Monday and Tuesday. You may then not be particularly interested in work for the rest of the week, and you come down back to earth on Sunday, where you can plan and get organized. So from Wednesday to Saturday, use the time that you've got, if possible, to work less, to enjoy the finer things in life or the best things in life that you enjoy, whether it's talking to a friend, being out in nature, going on a bit of an excursion. It's a wonderful week for you to experience an overall sense of lightness and like you can let go of control. So it's holiday vibes for you, Taurus, and you can really decompress this week. So if you've been stressed out, you'll be able to bring it down a notch here. Gemini, this really is your time of the year. We've got the sun in Gemini, and this week all doors really are open to you. You can multitask, you can launch a new product or plan an event, you can start or register a new business. See what you've been thinking about for a while and give it a formal birthday, like the chance to come to life in earnest this week. So it's the opportunity kind of to bottle all the good vibes that you've got access to at the moment, put them in a bottle and keep them moving forward. Cancer, you may find yourself uncharacteristically unemotional and factual this week. So personal decisions that you wouldn't want to make at other times because you don't want to hurt someone else's feelings, or speaking the truth may appear to be too harsh and you want to back off from that. This week, those kind of things may seem totally reasonable to you. And if you have problems with cutting out really toxic people and getting them out of your life, or you're really way too tolerant of bad behavior, especially if it affects you badly, negatively, then you'll be able to put your foot down this week and you can create healthy boundaries without any guilt or a sense of shame, as in, oh, I was just too harsh. I hope I didn't upset them. Sometimes, if you're being harmed by something, then it's important to have that boundary. Leo, you may have a tendency to be a little overconfident this week, and you could be dismissive of other people's feelings, or you could even be subversive when it comes to authority figures in your life this week. And what I mean by that is if you think someone is like on their high horse and they're getting too big for their britches, right? You may want to mess with those people and bring them down to earth a little bit. Especially if you feel like that person isn't up to the task, they don't know what they're doing, then you may feel like it's my duty and responsibility to let them know that this is not the way to do it. I would say that avoid those kind of things by keeping a focus on your life and what you can improve by yourself. So shining the light on the things that are unresolved for you rather than shining it onto other people. And by the weekend, I think that will disappear. So find a way this week, Monday to Friday, to really get the frustration out of your system, Leo, in a healthy way, like through exercise. And then you can really enjoy personal relationships, specifically at the weekend. But, try and avoid getting into it with people in that way. Okay. Virgo, you're going to have a lot of clarity this week. And you can see solutions to very, very complicated and complex problems. So you can do that in the outside world, things you've got going on, your schedule, IT, the living situation, your work, but it can also be within. So complex emotional kind of boundaries or blockages rather than boundaries that you experience, you'll really start to understand those. And Virgo, if you've been scared to come to a decision, you'll find this is replaced by a confident, easy certainty, especially from Monday through to Friday. So if there are big, daunting decisions that you want to make and haven't been able to, look at those again this week, you'll have a better outcome. Libra, by stepping back from your usual routine, you'll gain flashes of insight as to what can be changed in those circumstances and what needs changing to give you a greater sense of clarity and independence moving forward. So if you find that you often, if you have something to decide, you often tell a lot of people about it and then use them as a focus group kind of and get the general consensus, or you need permission and validation from other people before you make a change or you act. You'll learn this week how you can give your own insights and your own opinion, how you can give that more weight and credence and how you can value it more. So Libra, you mature a lot this week in the sense you take accountability where you're not so clear and where you are, and you work through that process to get to a much greater place of being self-sufficient. So you'll need people less than you usually do Scorpio, you may feel a little overwhelmed this week because there's going to be a lot going on and you're going to find there are lots of moving parts and the pace is really, really quick. So you'll notice that you'll have to react more quickly. You won't be able to think things through the way you usually would. And because of that, there's a likelihood that you dig your feet in and that you say, no, this is making me uncomfortable. This is too quick. So I would say rather than pulling back, allow yourself to hand over some control and to allow yourself to be led by someone else this week. You have the chance here, Scorpio, to open up and to learn to trust other people and where they're taking you. So let someone else kind of take the reins for a little bit and allow that positive outcome then to come into your life and serve as a positive surprise. Sagittarius, I would say you're the luckiest sign of the week because you reached the destination this week. A long-term plan or goal will come to fruition, finally. So when you get there, make sure you celebrate the win because it's likely that something you've put a lot of time and energy into and that you really care about, something that's part of your purpose, your mission, comes to a positive conclusion this week. So it's not all about work, it's about celebrating the wins really. Capricorn, this is the week for you to do any teamwork or to brainstorm with other people, both in your personal life and at work. You have a real talent this week for getting things done. But look to other people to provide even more unusual ideas. So to make any project or new venture or idea, to flesh it out and to make it even more interesting and unique. So by working with other people, you may receive insights that you may have missed yourself, and you can reach this general consensus. And if there's any kind of joint project that you're doing this week, it will really be enriched by every person involved in that project. So other people can improve your output this week, so be open to their input, basically. Aquarius, you may come up with a brilliant ideas plural. I was going to say a brilliant idea, but I think I misspoke for a reason. So there may be several brilliant ideas that you come up with, and they'll allow you to get to this place of certainty, whether a particular area of your life or an area of study or again a relationship, whether that's something that works naturally for you or whether it's not such a good fit. So by talking to friends, family, colleagues, you'll also get a greater understanding of the things that you're looking at, studying, engaging with, whether they work. So by talking to other people, you'll get more clarity, but also then you'll also get more clarity on those relationships themselves. And you'll understand who supports you and wants you to do well and can enjoy your successes when you have them, and who, for instance, may be jealous of when things are going well for you and who doesn't have the best intentions. And if you understand that on a very kind of cerebral, black and white level, you'll be able to make very uncomplicated decisions, as in, if you can't be happy for me, then why am I wasting my time and energy on this? Pisces, expect a gesture from another person this week, and it's a gesture of love or validation or approval, and it's from someone you care about. So, what does this say? Also trust someone who's taking a chance on you and accept this as a positive kind of influence in your life. So what I'm trying to say there is you may get this positive gesture or someone is going to give you a chance, right? And if they give you a chance, particularly when it comes to work, that may fill you with a sense of, oh, I don't want to let this person down. I hope I'm able to rise to the occasion. The thing is, you will be able to rise to the occasion, and the person doing the giving is unlikely to have a bad outcome because they have put in faith in you. And it's also unlikely that they have some sort of ulterior motive other than just wanting to genuinely help you. So we'll see what good stuff comes in via other people this week and really have a go, even if you're not 100% clear on it from the get-go. Again, it's likely that the relationship becomes stronger and that you both benefit from this collaboration. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. As you can see from the background, I'm here in Austria. But I'm going back to the UK on Tuesday. So I arrive Tuesday night. So things are going to be back to normal, or I'm going to be in my normal location from Tuesday. I'm still doing readings while I'm out here, but like I just mentioned, that's just for another 2 days. But if you want me to look at your natal chart, I just need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth to draw that up. If you don't have the time of birth, then please order a chart rectification with me. That's also available on the website, gregoryscott.com. And that's a process where I can work out your time of birth. And the more accurate the time of birth is, the more accurate the chart. So that's a good idea to do that. And then once I have your chart in front of me, I can really analyze that. And it's an amazing kind of personality profile. It's so amazing what it reveals. So if you've got anything coming up, or you're wondering what your life purpose is, or when to plan a certain event, or where to live, I look at what's coming up in future via the transits, the progress chart, and then specific locations via the astrocartography. So if you have any questions at all that you'd like me to look at, then please do get in touch. I also use the tarot in my personal readings as well as my intuition. Check out some of my other videos, please. The videos on the new moon, the new moons, the full moons, and I'll make the video for the new moon soon, probably tomorrow. And consider becoming a member of the channel, please, if you want to watch the daily tarot reading that I do on this channel. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you soon.